Well, the dust has barely settled on Nigel Farage's triumphant run to the final of I'm a Celebrity. Already rumours have begun to swirl that he could make a dramatic return to the political front line, but not quite how you're expecting. Reportedly, Nigel could team up with former Prime Minister Boris Johnson on a so-called Dream Tory ticket. Nigel certainly didn't deny the rumours on his victory lap this morning. Watch.
Quite wronged by Boris in the past that he reneged on a deal with you. Does that mean it's never going to happen again?
Never say never. Never say never. I can't predict right now what will happen. What I do think is that our country is being appallingly led.
Right, so Nigel's just come out of the jungle to find out that David Cameron is the Foreign Secretary, the net migration figures are out and they're another shocker, and this Rwanda bill might not get off the ground at all. I'm joined now by Fleet Street legend, former editor of The Sun, Kelvin MacKenzie. Kelvin, what do you make of that then? Farage and Johnson, dream ticket.
It's never out of the question. I agree with him. And the reason I say that is this. Zelensky was a comedian. Now he leads a country fighting for its life against the pigs who run Russia. And actually, everybody laughed at him. He turned out to be a phenomenal leader in war and in many ways, going around the world, encouraging people to give the money so that the Ukrainians can have their own life and not have to live under the yoke of Putin. So anything is possible now. Look what's happening in Holland with Wilder, right? Suddenly he's out in the wilderness, thank you.
Well,
I'm here all
we
week.
can have that one for free, ladies and gents. You're very welcome. Send the invoice to Kelvin MacKenzie.
Anyway, he's in the wilderness, right? And now he's going to be, essential part of the government, may well be the leader. Now we have the ridiculous situation where those who threw Boris out now think, oh, hold on a second, this doesn't look like a good idea. As your panellists have already said, it's a nightmare for the Conservative. So Nigel did himself a power of good. Wasn't he fantastic at the end of I'm a Celebrity? Instead of saying, I'm going to get even with that Nella Rose, what did you think of that Fred Syriac, a complete dick, and all that kind of stuff, right? He didn't say any of that. He said, oh, there were some good people, nicely done. You can see he was going for the votes. A very, a triumph, actually.
OK, all right. Yeah, sorry for the language, but I think we're probably all right. It's time tonight, aren't we? You said he didn't want to get even with those two people, but he did want to get even, and I can see you're itching to have a go at this. So Nigel finally addressed the inflammatory comments and gestures made about him by ITV managing director Kevin Lygo when he was in the jungle. Have a look and a listen to this.
It seems whilst I was in there, one or two people up at the top of ITV were doing their best to make life quite unpleasant for me. But I would say to you, Mr. Kevin Lygo, the boss of ITV, it's up to you, mate. If you want to go to war with me, you really can. The last person that did that was called Dame Alison Rose from that West Bank, and look what happened to her. So I would suggest, Mr. Lygo, that I am prepared to ignore your rude, one-handed gestures, the pathetic attempts by some of your staff to stitch me up. I'm prepared to forget all of it if we can call a truce. But if you really, really want to go to war with me, I don't think it'll do ITV's share price an awful lot of good. So let's please end the nonsense, and let's do it now.
OK, all right, Kelvin, what do you think of that?
Well, I think it's a shocking mistake by Lygo. A shocking, shocking mistake. After all, they're a licensed business, ITV. He actually, Nigel Farage destroyed NatWest, a major corporation, right? An important corporation. Nobody gives a toss whether ITV exists or not, actually. Its only role in life is to give $1.5 million to Nigel Farage. Beyond that, nobody cares about them. And talking about their share price is completely bombed out anyway. It's down at 60 odd pence. They have been a shocking, shocking management, right? So actually, he makes a very serious error there, Lygo, because actually to go against any politician, to start using hand gestures against them, right? It may warm to his crowd. It doesn't warm to the crowd who buy their products. Supposing they decided that the public who liked Farage but actually didn't quite enjoy Mr. Lygo, supposing they decided to say, we're not going to go to Tesco's today if they continue to advertise on ITV because of this. There is a lot of lobbying to be done by people who are pro Farage. And I know, and you know, and this station knows that actually he has done himself the most phenomenal amount of good, and Lygo has done himself considerable harm at a time when ITV are commercially on their backs. Their audiences are massively down, their revenues are down, their talent that they did have seems to be disappearing at 100 miles an hour. A great mistake. He would do well to apologise now.
Do you think he should apologise to Nigel?
I think he should apologise to Nigel, because Nigel is not going to go away, and he has a remarkable success record. Brexit, NatWest, and now ITV are in your sights.
The danger is, of course, that Nigel Farage is now finding out about a lot of the alleged skullduggery that went on whilst he was in the jungle, and potentially as well can reveal some of the things that may or may not have happened for him personally whilst he was in there. And given Nigel Farage's front-footed approach there, it strongly insinuates that he's willing... I mean, the fact that he's trousered £1.5 million and then come out and immediately used his platform to stick two fingers up metaphorically to ITV's director and say, oh, well, I'll go for a war if you want a war, and then go on a massive rant about migration. I mean, this Pete Farage. Kelvin, thank you very, very much. I could talk to you all day, but alas, we're out of time.